Hello and welcome to German Lessons with Mr. Ferguson. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Deutschunterricht mit Herrn Ferguson. Diese zweite grammatische Stunde des second grammar lesson ist der Nominativ, the nominative case. Before wir anfangen, please remember to like this video, bitte klickt Gefällt mir, and to subscribe to my channel, so that I can keep helping you with your German. Bitte vergesst nicht zu abonnieren. If you're enjoying my videos, please consider buying me a coffee by clicking the banner now. All contributions are gratefully received and allow me to continue to bring you new and exciting German content whilst keeping it free to access on YouTube. Thank you to those of you who've already contributed. It's very much appreciated. Vielen Dank. In this lesson we'll be discussing the nominative case, and in order to explain this properly, I will need to briefly explain the case system and what a case actually is. In German there are 4 cases, which are grammatical markings which are used in various different situations. When a case changes, there are changes in the grammar of the language. Cases affect adjectives and nouns. In this video, I'll be talking about nouns and how they change. If you need to know about adjective endings, which are a little bit more complicated, please watch the 6th video in this series by clicking here. Cases won't change verb forms, but verb forms can trigger the use of a case. I will talk about these verbs when they're relevant. The 4 cases in German are called nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive, and this lesson will focus on the nominative case. The easiest way to think about the nominative case is that it is normal. It is essentially the default settings for nouns, i.e. objects and things. Hopefully, by this stage, you know that German nouns will all have a gender. If you'd like a little bit of help learning how to learn, recognise and sometimes guess the gender of a noun, please click here to watch the first grammatical lesson in this series. Most European languages contain things called articles. These are the words a and the. The definite article is the. Think about it this way. If I said, give me the pen, there is a definite, certain, specific pen that I have in mind. If I say, give me a pen, you could give me any pen in the world and I would be happy. A or an are therefore referred to as the indefinite article. In the nominative case, the definite articles in German are der for masculine nouns, die for feminine nouns, das for neuter nouns, die for plural nouns. And the indefinite articles are ein for masculine nouns, eine for feminine nouns, ein for neuter nouns, and we say keine for plural nouns. Adding a k to the front of an indefinite article negates the meaning. So keine means no or not any, which we use because we can't say a for a plural. For example, a socks or a brothers. But most of the time, for plural, we would just use a number. For example, 2 red buses or 12 angry men. We use the nominative case with the subject of a sentence, and I don't mean subject like school subject or topic of the sentence. To demonstrate what I mean, I'll use English examples. The subject of the sentence is the person or thing which is doing the action. For example, the dog ate the meat. The dog is doing the eating, so the dog is the subject. My best friend Karen is tall. My best friend Karen is the one being, so my best friend Karen is the subject. 3 annoying children stole my football. 3 annoying children are the ones who stole, so they are the subject of this sentence. In German, these subjects would be der Hund, masculine singular, meine beste Freundin Karen, feminine singular, and 3 nervige Kinder, plural. Have a look at these English sentences and think about what the subjects would be. You can pause the video if you need longer. My older sister's best friend's dog's previous owner's brother's colleague used to steal all our milk. I like cereal. In the first, quite ridiculous sentence, the subject is my older sister's best friend's dog's previous owner's brother's colleague. proving that a subject can be as long as this or as short as the word I, as it is in the second sentence. It's important to realise as well that the subject doesn't necessarily come first in a sentence. For example, on Tuesday we will go fishing. We are the ones who will go fishing, so we are the subject. The same thing can happen here in German, with a few changes to word order. If you're unsure about how the dreaded German word order works, please click here. So, now that you know what the nominative is, let's talk about when to use it. In German, the subject of every sentence will be in the nominative case, and all sentences that aren't one-word answers like yes or no, or an instruction like go home, will have a subject. In German, we also use the nominative after any forms of the verbs sein, to be, werden, to become, and bleiben, to stay, or in this case, to remain. Think about it this way. In English, I would say, I am a man, or the police officer is a woman. And we can treat the verbs am or is like an equals sign in maths. I equals a man, the police officer equals a woman. In maths, the rule is that things on either side of an equals sign are the same. So if I and the police officer are nominative, then so are a man and a woman in our sentences. In German, these sentences are Ich, nominative, bin ein Mann, nominative masculine. And die Polizistin, nominative feminine, ist eine Frau, nominative feminine. We can also think of werden, to become, and bleiben, to remain, as being other versions of to be, though using this with bleiben is rare. If you will become something, at some point you will be it, so you will use the equals sign. For example, a young man is becoming a German citizen, can be thought of as a young man will equals a German citizen at some point. Ein junger Mann, masculine nominative, wird ein deutscher Bürger, masculine nominative. The young man is still or remains a British citizen. The young man still equals a British citizen. Der junge Mann, masculine nominative, bleibt ein britischer Bürger, masculine nominative. Hopefully that analogy makes sense, but if not, simply learn that sein, bleiben and werden are used with the nominative case. It's also worth noting that all the pronouns you've learned at this point, ich, du, sie, es, man, wir, ihr, sie and sie, are all nominative. So if any of these, commonly referred to as subject pronouns, are the subject of the sentence, you use them in the form we've already learned. For example, ich trinke Milch, trinkt Cola, wir trinken Bier, trinken Sie Wasser? And that's realistically all you need to know about the nominative. It's the normal case and is used most commonly with the subject of a sentence. If you take a noun straight out of the dictionary, it will tell you the nominative form. For example, if I look up the word man, it either says der Mann, showing us that man is masculine, or it will say Mann, noun, M, which also tells us that man is a masculine noun. So, that's a brief summary of the nominative case. It's probably the least confusing of the cases and will start to make much more sense when you know what the accusative, dative and genitive cases are and how to use them. It's a good idea to pause the video now to recap or take note of the nominative case rules, including how the articles change based on the gender of the noun. Habe ich etwas vergessen? If you're a native German speaker and you think I've left out some important information about the nominative case, der Nominativ or der Verfall, please write a comment below. Bitte schreibt einen Kommentar. Also, please remember to click subscribe to receive all of my German lesson videos, language learning tips and updates. You can also follow me on Instagram with the username Herr Ferguson and on Twitter under @Herr Ferguson. Otherwise, from me, it's Danke und auf Wiedersehen.